What's up, everybody? I'm B-True, and as you can see, I'm the water main, and that means it is time to make a full water main team guide. For those of you who don't know, I've been making a comprehensive guide for all of the main characters, pretty much every single character and team that you can create with a main, whether you are free to play, pay to win, pay to advance, whatever you want to call it. So it is a comprehensive guide from level 1 up to level 95 with every possible ninja, every possible team, just to try and help all of you out. So I've already made one for the lightning main, the fire main, and the earth main. This is now my one for the water main. I will leave links for the other ones down below, and then I still have to make one for the wind main to complete the series. So anyway, the water main. First and foremost with the water main, you have to talk about what makes what is good about the water main. Now, the way the game is right now, I would say that the water main is pretty much tied for top tier. So the way that the game is sort of evolving, it's turning into a it's one ninja really rounds out a team, and then you start building support around that one ninja. For example, you got Roshi is a very good ninja to build a team around. Jonin Minato, the Masked Man, Susanoo Itachi, like those kind of characters can completely carry a team by themselves. And so what you do is you try and power them up as much as possible and put support all around them. Because of the way the meta is changing in the game now with these new super overpowered characters, that is why the Earth Main and the Water Main are pretty much top tier. Now, the reason for that is because the water main is quite possibly the best healer in the entire game. Like, her healing is stupid because she can heal the entire team. She has a large heal, like I'm talking over 2,000 heal as a standard attack every single turn. And because she has this healing tips right here that increases her own healing. So she is quite possibly the strongest currently of the support mains. Earth main is a close, like they're very close because the Earth main does some things a little bit different. He's more about shielding, being the tank. He can give them double standard attacks, which can be really, really helpful for certain ninja. Whereas the water main is all about healing. All about healing. She has the ability to have a guaranteed chaos every time that she has her chase. Or you can go with the healing tips for the extra healing, and then she also has this poison tie right here, which ends up being really, really helpful. So her mysteries. She has the poison fog wave. Really, you're not going to want to use that much at all. I mean, if you're going for a full debuff team, you could maybe use that if you want to try and stack a bunch of poisoning on top of them. However, there are better ways to do that, and keeping your team healthy with this regenerative healing jutsu is like the main way to go. She has her water style super shark bomb. If she wants to, she has the ability to cause team-wide chaos if you double up the neurotoxin with your water style super shark bomb. So you can cause AoE chaos, which can be really, really difficult for teams to deal with. However, the way the meta is going right now, you've got a lot of immunity teams and a lot of ways for people to get rid of debuffs like that. So that's why the water main has kind of went from a damage and a controlling into more of like a straight just heal bot. So like I was saying, the regenerative healing jutsu is probably the best skill that she has, because you can cure all their debuffs and it heals all the ninja in your team by a very large amount. You can use your skewering. Skewering does a lot of single target damage. It also cancels shields and buffs on somebody, but it's only on one character. Whereas this healing is going to heal your entire team, and it will keep whatever important ninja you need alive. She also has her healing jutsu for her standard attack. Those two together are extremely strong. You can use monster strength. It does a fair amount of damage. But again, at the point of the game we're in right now, you don't really want to use the water main end game wise. You don't really want to use her for damage. You want to use her more for her healing. Early in the game, before you start getting into the higher levels, yes, the water style super shark bomb and the water style flowing whip are very, very good. Very good options for you. But as you start using her as more of a healing support, those two, you're going to be wanting to use those two right there. Now your chase is just whatever you need. If you are not going to be running healing tips and you want to go for the guaranteed chaos, so let's say you have a lineup where none of your characters cause like an acupuncture, an immobile, or a chaos, right? You want to have one of those in your lineup so that you have the ability to cancel somebody's mystery, somebody important's mystery, if you are able to move first, if you have the higher initiative than them. So if you don't have anybody in your lineup that can cause acupuncture, immobile, or chaos, you want to go with Chakra Dissection Blade and Neurotoxin, because Chakra Dissection Blade is a guaranteed critical hit from knockdown to high float, and with Neurotoxin, every time you cause a critical hit, the unit gets chaosed. So by that, you guarantee that you're going to have a chaos there, and you can cancel somebody's mystery. Otherwise, if you're going to go with the healing, you're going to want to use healing tips. It increases healing by 40%. I mean, that's a ton of healing. No-brainer right there. Use whatever chase you want to. And then you have the ability to go with Water Clone Jutsu if you want somebody in front of your water main to try and absorb some damage in the beginning. Poison Tai if you want to stack a bunch of debuffs on the enemy team, which ends up being a really good option. Most people use Poison Tai. Not a lot of people use Curse Mark Test, and Reserve Seal you can use, but that's only if you're going to use or try to use your water main as like a weird tanky healing support. I'm not really sure. I don't see any reason to use anything but these two here. So that is what makes the water main good. So as far as teams with the water main go, so let's clear this up. As far as teams with the water main go, you want to use her in the best way possible as a healer in the late game. So let's start with early game, right? So early game, you're going to have Poison Fog Wave and maybe Super Shark Bomb when you first start off, and then Taijutsu and healing. Really early, I wouldn't say use the healing unless you don't have any other good healers in your team, just because that doesn't really do very much in the early game, like I said. So, I mean, the team that everybody always starts off with, right? So you've got Hinata, Sasuke, put him there, and then Sakura. This is like the team that I pretty much recommend to everybody right off the bat. You can switch these two. You can switch these two. It doesn't really matter all that much, especially since you're going to be probably using her for attack. However you want to do that. I would probably say something like this. This would probably be like your best team here. Hinata causes acupuncture, which is good. Between the Sasuke and Hinata, you can have a really long chase, which is really helpful. Sakura is a good healer in the very beginning of the game, and you're not really going to have access to the healing with your water main at first. So you're going to have you're going to want to use Super Shark Bomb Jutsu with this team at least, because there isn't a huge advantage to stacking debuffs until you get this Poison Tai, because nobody on here except for Sasuke causes any kind of debuffs. So this is like the main initial team. One thing you could potentially do if you wanted to use this healing jutsu here, you could put Naruto down here and then have his clones spawn up every turn. That's a potential option that you could get. Once you start to unlock a couple more characters, so we're talking about Kimimaru, Kabuto, like those the characters that you initially unlock. You can replace Kimimaru once you get him to 3-star. Put him up as your tank there, and then what you can do by that time, you'll have these open, so you can use the water main as your guaranteed critical and then chaos, right? So you can use something like this, and then probably either Water Clone Jutsu or Poison Tai. It all depends. Poison Tai would actually be pretty good, because when you use Kimimaru's Mystery, you would stack poison damage on 4 opponents in the enemy team. So that would be pretty good right there. Again, you want to keep Sasuke because he has the ability. One, he has a lot of combos, but then he also has the ignition and everything, so that's pretty good. If you have Kabuto at 3-star and you're going to use a 3-star Kimimaro, replace them, and then boom. Now you've got a tanky damage, you've got damage and debuffs, healing, and then you have your guaranteed... the only thing you have to make sure of is, I think you might have to put him down here to make sure that her chase goes off before his. Because you need her chase to... you need her chase in order to get the chaos. So yeah. So something around like this would be like a really strong standard team. Another thing you could do, you could use Aruka in the beginning of the games. Aruka's really strong. Like that last team that you saw, if you wanted to go back to this team and you didn't necessarily want to have Sasuke for some reason, you could put Aruka in. Or you could keep Sasuke, replace Sakura, and then use the Water Main's healing jutsu there. Right? This wouldn't be a bad team. You'd probably move him up to there. Or, yeah, position 2 would be okay. So that's like a pretty standard early game setup. Let's see here. As far as other early game ninja, not too many people are going to really help you. So let's look at the treasure here. All right. So, Tsunade, Sannin War would be pretty helpful just because she's a healer. She's a better healer than... Okay, Sakura's a better team healer. Tsunade does more damage, and she has the ability to cause chaos as well. I kind of take that back. I wouldn't use Tsunade. Orochimaru does a lot of damage. Sannin War, you can use him as your damage if you want to replace Sasuke, because Sasuke's barrier doesn't really help that team at all. I mean, it helps Kimimaro or Hinata, but not entirely worth it. Kisame would be a decent option here. If you put in... So if you put Kisame in with this team, this would be a pretty nice looking team. If you were going to do that, I'd probably stick with healing jutsu. So you'd have these two using healing with their standard attacks, and these two doing your damage. But your Water Main still has the ability to use the super Shark Bomb. I wouldn't use the regenerative. You can, if you need more healing, get more healing. Okay, that's always an option for you. But that's something like this wouldn't be bad at all. It'd be a decent team right there. Yeah, I kind of like that team actually. Okay, what else was there? So we got Kakuzu, not really. Hidan, not really. You don't really have a way of causing tag early in the game, so I wouldn't really use Hidan. Unless you had Conan. If you got Conan and Hidan somehow, but like, don't spend in this treasure. So you're probably not going to have them. Other than that, that's pretty much all of like your early game. I mean, up until like level 60 or so, it really doesn't... Like, everybody has access to the same ninja unless you are recharging a bunch of money and buying a special ninja in the event, okay? If you're gonna do that, then, I mean, honestly, you're wasting your money. Like, get power early on, and don't worry about the ninja, because everybody's gonna have access to the same ninja up until about level 60. That's like, level 60 is when you start getting access to the better ninja through the treasures. So yeah. If you do buy any of the special ninja through the events, like, put them into your lineup. I mean, if you get Sailor Sakura, put her into your lineup. Replace Kabuto with Sailor Sakura. Direct upgrade. Make sure you're using Poison Tai with Sailor Sakura, because then you cause AoE poison to their whole team. Like, that's... Sailor Sakura and the Water Main synergize very, very well. So, if you get her, put her in. As far as the rest of these, you could use Haku for the barrier, although normal Haku, not very good. I wouldn't really stick with her. You could go with a water lineup with Zabuza if you wanted to. because of his he causes blindness with his mystery, which can give you a whole turn where you're just doing damage to the enemy team. If you wanted to have like a blitz-y style kind of with the water main, I don't know why you'd want to have a blitz style with the water main, but it's an option. Other than that, that's pretty much all of the standard early game ninja. Guy Sensei is never a bad choice early in the game because his lifesteal helps out a lot. Plus, he's able to cause interruption with his mystery and ignition with his chase. So, Guy Sensei is always a good option if you need a little more survivability from somebody who causes damage. So, keep that in mind. If you have Sailor Sakura, Great Ninja War Sakura. So Sailor Sakura is going to be better with the water main than Great Ninja War Sakura is. However, if you don't have Sailor Sakura, but you do have Great Ninja War Sakura is a great healer. She's a great addition to the team. If you got her through the login stuff, you can use her, replace Kabuto, put in Sailor Sakura. That's a really strong swap right there. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the early game stuff. So let's get into... So now, okay, Sage Naruto Treasure. Ao is definitely a viable option for the water main. With Ao, you're going to want to use a full water team just to take advantage of his shielding. So you could stick with Kisame. You could put in Ao. I would use the water main as your healer in that lineup, and then put somebody as your front line. Your front line could be... You could use Ao as your front line, actually. But, actually, what you could do is you could use Sailor Sakura, or Kabuto. Use any of them because they're all water. Use them as your healer. Stick with the Super Shark Bomb and like the water style flowing whip. You can even use Healing Jutsu if you need some more. But then stick with the Chaos AoE damage Poison Tai. And then use either Sakura, Kabuto, Sailor Sakura, Great Ninja War Sakura as your healer. Put in Ao as like your tank up there. Or you could do like that. So then his clones would fill up this front line as your tank. Those two do kind of damage. You got your AoE chase or the AoE potential AoE crit with the chaos and everything. So this isn't a bad team right here. It's not going to win you anything special, but it's not a bad team. If you have Sage Naruto, put Sage Naruto, replace Kisame with Sage Naruto, and then have Ao. Ao's not going to shield Sage Naruto, but it's Sage Naruto. Like, put Sage Naruto. If you get Sage Naruto, you use Sage Naruto. It's just like the rules of the game. Now, a lot of people don't use the water main up until... Oh, you got the Tendo. I forgot. So, early game, all the pains are really, really strong. If you get a pain, use a pain. I highly recommend not spending Seal Scrolls in the Tendo Treasure just because you don't really use the pain characters after level 70, like ever. Nobody does. But before level 70, they're really strong. If you end up getting them through some event or something, put them in your lineup. The Tendo, or not the Tendo, the pains are always really, really strong. They all have multiple chases. They all do something really, really well. Whether they're great support characters, they're great damage characters. Like, if you get a pain, put a pain in your lineup. Simple as that. Same with Sage Naruto. You get Sage Naruto early, you put Sage Naruto in your lineup. That's the way that it goes. And then you just build everything around them. Use your water main as a healer. Keep them alive unless you have like Jigokudo or Gakudo who are more support characters. And then you have to kind of put damage in as well. But you can still use your water main as your healer. You want to keep your strong ninja alive. That's the reason that the water main starts to become... Like, you don't really see the water main until level 70. And then once you hit level 70, the water main starts becoming this character that you're seeing all the time because of her ability to keep other people alive. And that's really what the game is. It's get a really strong ninja, keep them alive. Right? So, level 70 is the 5 Kage treasure. This is where the water main all of a sudden shot up. You start seeing water main everywhere. And I know you've seen the lineup. I don't have May, so I can't directly show you the lineup, but I know you've seen it. So this is the most meta water main lineup at level 70. So you got Mabui, Great Ninja War Tenten, and then so this Kabuto would be Mei. So pretend that Mei is standing right there for her barrier, and then the water main, right? So you're able to, because of Mabui, you're able to use Great Ninja War Tenten's Mystery in the first round, and then you use Mabui's Mystery again, and you get to use Mei's Mystery, plus you get to use the Water Main's Heal in the second round. So you get to use a bunch of mysteries. You get to a bunch of healing, cure all the debuffs. Like, it's really cheesy lineup, but people use it for a reason because it works really, really well. So that is like the number one lineup at level 70. When you hit the Kage treasure, that is what everybody uses. If you can get Mei is an extremely strong ninja because, one, she does a ton of damage. She has a very high chance to start a chase, like to start a combo with her standard attack. Her chase causes acupuncture. Her mystery causes team-wide AoE ignition. She has a great barrier that causes poisoning if it stays up. Like, Mei is as complete of a ninja as you are going to get in this game before like level 90 and like the super high treasures, right? If you get Mei, you use her. She synergizes perfectly with the water main. Use your water main as a healer, keep her alive, that whole deal. Another lineup that some people will use. So we'll get rid of her. We're going to go with Chojuro. And then again, you would have Mei in this lineup because Mei is going to buff all of them. Now it'd be like this. This is a really strong lineup. It's not quite as strong as the other lineup. It's much less cheesy. This is like a straight, I'm going to kick your ass kind of lineup, right? So Chojuro is your main damage dealer in this lineup next to Mei. Mei's mystery is going to, really screw people up, but Chojuro getting off his 2 attacks every turn, and the fact that he increases his ninjutsu and attack by 6% for every water ninja in your lineup, it all stacks, and Chojuro hits super, super hard with this lineup if Mei's barrier stays up. So this is like your other option. Those are your 2 options for the water main at level 70. You want to stick with that. Mei can be difficult to get. That's the reason I don't have her. I've spent over almost 500 seal scrolls in the Kage treasure, and I still don't have Mei. So I'm not saying that Mei is easy to get. However, if you're going to stick with the water main, Mei is the most important ninja that you can get up until like level 90 or whatever. So that's another very kick-ass lineup. A and Susanoo Sasuke and Susanoo Itachi, for that matter, all 3 of them, they're super rare. Like, if you get them, you use them. You can use, if you have A, you can use, because he does a shit ton of damage, just use your water main as a support character, keep him alive. Alright? If you get Susanoo Sasuke, he does a lot of damage as well, and he's sort of tanky, just got to keep him alive. There you go. Susanoo Itachi, just all you have to do is focus. You put 3 healers behind Susanoo Itachi, and he'll eventually just murder the whole enemy team, right? He has a really, really hard-hitting standard attack. So if you end up getting him, use him. Onoki, not going to help. Mei, like I said, most important ninja you can get as the water main up until about level 90. Gaara, not really going to help. You've got much better options. Don't waste your time. Danzo, no. Darui, yeah, because he has the ability to buff Water Ninja. However, he is like a C compared to Mei as an S. Like, there's no comparison between the 2 of them. If you don't get Mei, Darui is a little bit easier to get than Mei. If you don't get Mei, you can put Darui in. He's going to give you some attack. He's going to give you damage. His barrier is going to help, plus he's able to cause a bunch of paralysis to people. You're still going to need some more damage, so I would still put in... Actually, that team that we just showed, this one, this would not be bad with Darui. If you put Darui in this lineup, this would not be a bad lineup, right? So you have the clones for some tankiness. You got Ao to cause acupuncture with his chase. You've got Chojuro doing a lot of damage. Darui doing some damage, but he's also going to help with the whole paralysis thing, which severely cuts down the enemy's ability to do damage because of their chases. The barrier is the most important thing with him, and then again, use your water main as a healer. Definitely go with Poison Tai because of Chojuro. Chojuro hits the whole front line, so he can cause poison to a whole bunch of people. Use your healing tips, your healing, and then whatever chase you need to use in order to round that whole thing out, right? That's a decent lineup. Not as strong as the Mei lineup, like I said. However, still a very decent lineup. Okay, so we had Darui, Mifune. I mean, if you need damage, yeah, but I think with Chojuro you can get away with enough damage. If you don't get Chojuro, though, because he's in this treasure, and you do get Mifune, he's kind of a replacement. Not a direct replacement, but he's kind of a replacement. Killer Bee, not really going to do anything for this lineup, or the water main, unless you need more healing, but that's like a double. You do better with another healer as opposed to like a support like Killer Bee. You don't need Killer Bee until the Jinchuriki stuff. Alright, so next comes the Edo Tensei Treasure. Now, Kinkaku and Genkaku, decent ninja by themselves. However, they don't really synergize all that well with the water main. The problem is they're more of a blitzy style ninja. They don't bring a lot to the team. They're all about damage, damage, damage. And because you only get them at 2-star, they don't do a lot of damage. And so you end up wasting slots on characters that don't do too much damage. And it's not worth it to keep them alive. Plus, they're really, really squishy being at 2-star. So until you get them to at least a 3-star, I wouldn't worry about using them. Kabuto Snake Cloak, he's kind of like a gimmicky character. He's good in like the arena and ranked battle. Don't use him in a PvP lineup. Raza, Mu. Mu is a very strong ninja. Absolutely, you can use him. He doesn't necessarily synergize well with the water main, though. Again, he just doesn't. You got better options. You know what I mean? Nobody really uses Mu with the water main. Same with Raza. Itachi Susanoo we already talked about. Now Gengetsu is a different story, right? If you are able to get Gengetsu. Oh, whoops, I don't have him. That's why. Okay. If you're able to get Gengetsu as a water main, this guy is wonderful, right? So if you have, let's say, Mei for her barrier, or Darui is your replacement, and then actually, so around this time, you should have the ability to get Ido Haku. If you are, if you're recharging and you want to get a ninja, Ido Haku is, and you don't have Mei, Ido Haku is a very, very good replacement for Mei. Say Mei is a little bit better than Ido Haku, but Ido Haku is a very, very strong replacement, but definitely better than Darui for these kind of lineups. But anyway, Gengetsu, very, very, very strong. Okay, so he's able to use his mystery every single turn because every time his standard attack triggers a 10 combo, his mystery cooldown gets reduced. And he has a pretty good chance of causing that 10 combo with his standard attack. So he's able to standard attack and mystery pretty much every single turn. So he does a shit ton of damage, right? Also, he has his water clone that explodes, and so that's even more damage. So he does really well with Edo Tensei Ninja, which is why if you have Ido Haku with Gengetsu, they're a really good match. I still think Mei is better just as all around. So if you had Gengetsu and Mei, all the damage you're possibly going to need. You can go with Ao for the shielding. You can go with Mabui, also causes the shielding, and she kind of heals. So you could use her for the extra chakra, which would probably actually be a little bit of a better option than Ao. I think Mabui might be a better option than Ao for that team. And then go straight healing with your water main. Boom, you got all the damage you can need. That's a really, really strong team. So now we're out of the Edo Tensei treasure, and we're into the Jinchuriki stuff. The Jinchuriki treasures, once they hit, is when the game really turns into, who is your ninja and how are you keeping them alive, right? For the first treasure here, Roshi is the guy, right? Roshi is that guy. He has scaling ninjutsu and scaling defense. If you can keep him alive, his ninjutsu scales to the point where his mystery will just wipe the whole battlefield. So that's why one of the like the really, I don't want to say good strategies, but a strategy a lot of people use is they'll go 3 healers and Roshi. Water Main does a ton of healing, right? Great Ninja War Sakura or Sailor Sakura, and then like Hokage Tsunade if you have her, or some other healer on top of them. You can even use Kabuto as a replacement there. Roshi causes a bunch of debuffs because every time they attack him, they get ignited, right? You can use the Poison Taijutsu to stack poison on the enemy team, and then you have this constant stream of healing keeping Roshi alive as he scales. So the enemy team is constantly debuffed, and you have a scaling time bomb in Roshi that's eventually going to just fuck people up. And if you have Sailor Sakura, you have 2 scaling time bombs, right? So like, it's a really cancerous lineup. I hate cancer lineups, but it makes a lot of sense, okay? It's a really, really strong lineup for a reason. Like, it's tough. Very tough to beat unless you have a lot more battle power than them or like some seriously crazy ninja. Yukito is good if you want to go with the debuff route, right? So you want to go with her chase is really helpful to get to that 30 combo, because if you can get to a 20 combo, so her basic attack does 10 sometimes, and then at a 20 combo, she hits, she's like pretty much a guaranteed to get to the 30 combo, which gets you Roshi's chase. Getting off Roshi's chase is super important, excuse me. Alright, voice is starting to go. Killer Bee Samehada, not so much. Killer Bee normal starts to become pretty valuable now, because if you have Yukito and Roshi with Killer Bee, 1, Killer Bee is going to shield all of them. 2, you can give Yukito the double standard attack, and then she's going to definitely trigger a 10 combo, which you can then turn into a 30 combo for Roshi. So that's a really, that's like a Roshi-centric lineup right there. Yagura is he's a good ninja in the right situation. Like, if you copy the right ninja at the right time, Yagura can win you a fight. Especially if you copy the enemy Roshi and you get off a 30 chase, you get your Roshi and the enemy Roshi's chase off, GG. Like, you pretty much just wipe their team out in 1 round. Itachi Susano, we already talked about, really, really strong. Then Jinchuriki 2, you've got Han he's good, but only if you're going to go the debuff route and you're fighting a lot of immune teams, right? Otherwise, Han doesn't really help too much. Like, he's really good as a tank. But Roshi is tanky enough if you surround him with healing, which the Water Main does. If you don't have healing, Han is going to be a very strong tank because he has got super armor. But as long as you have a lot of healing around Roshi, Roshi's going to be much better for you than Han, unless, like I said, you're trying to go the pure debuff route. Utakata, very situational, but you can definitely work with him. Fu, again, very situational. With the Water Man, I'd say Utakata's a little bit better. Utakata has the ability to really synergize with the poisoning that you cause with your Poison Tai, right? So his mystery is able to hit everybody who's suffering from poisoning, and he's also able to cause poisoning to the entire enemy team. So you can stack poisoning through him with his chase. You can stack poisoning with all of, especially if you have like Sailor Sakura with them. Put in Sailor Sakura and Roshi, like, boom, that's a badass team right there. You got healing with the Poison Taijutsu. He's causing a bunch of poisoning. Roshi's causing ignition when he gets hit. Sailor Sakura's causing AoE poisoning. You end up killing almost their entire team in the first round just from like poison stacks, right? Excuse me. Like I said, voice is going. Gotta speed this up. Okay, so that is all for the treasures, right? Now, let's just go through all the ninja one at a time here. Heavy Hime, no. Raza, no. Masked Man, yes. Masked Man is S-tier support character. If you get the Masked Man, use the Masked Man. He's great because he removes that immunity problem that you had. He also really fucks up blitz teams because he can just completely take out the lightning main like right off the bat, and that kind of just screws them. However, if you're going to use the Mazman, you're probably going to want to stay away from Jinchuriki team because his passive that reduces the amount of damage that Jinchurikis do. You can still use them, however, it's not going to be in your best interest. Kinkaku, like I said, not really. Gengetsu synergizes extremely well with the water main. If you get him, you can use him. He does a boatload of damage. Just keep him alive, put a tank in front of him, or give him a bunch of shields. Nagato is really strong because, again, he gets rid of the whole interruption or the immunity problem because he gets rid of all of their buffs. So Nagato would be a strong option for sure with the water main because then you can start stacking your poisoning on people. And Nagato just does a lot of damage, just like by himself. He does a lot of damage. Tachi Susano we already talked about. Mifune, if you don't get Chojuro, he is a decent replacement for Chojuro. A does a shit ton of damage. Just keep him alive with healing. Let him carry your team for sure. If you have A, use Darui, and then you'll get the lightning and the water bonus. So you'd have like A, Darui, use your water main as healing, and then probably Mabui. Mabui would be great because then she would shield him as well. And that'd be a pretty good team there. Mei, like we talked about, MVP for the water main. If you get Mei, use Mei. Tendo is very strong. However, most of the water main lineups are not going to be real heavy in the whole chakra generation unless you go with Mabui and then Tendo. However, Tendo is more of like a ranked battle kind of character. I wouldn't use him necessarily in just like PvP. Shurido, early levels, lots of damage. After level 60 or 7 after level 70, no. Jigokudo, good to bring people back to life. Much better for ranked battle than PvP. Chikashudo, no, unless for some reason you need tag on somebody. Like if you buy Cursed Hadan, Chikashudo is okay with him, although Cursed Hadan has the ability to use his own tag. So if you want to use normal Hadan and you get Chikashudo, that's a good lineup right there. Chikamatsu Chio, you could use her with Tendo, but that's not going to be a good PvP lineup. She's more of a gimmicky character. You get a bunch of chases off. However, you've got better options. Ito Datara, for ranked battle, absolutely. Like Great Ninja Warrior, absolutely. For PvP, not really. Not so much. He's not going to work very well. Sasori, no. Konohamaru, no. Neither Konohamaru, the corpse, or himself. Minato, absolutely. Minato is S tier damage carry. Like, if you get him, use him, keep him alive. He's going to do insane amounts of damage. Just keep him alive. Normal Minato, still a very good option. If you get him, use him. He does a lot of damage. Obito, no. Tobirama, yes, but like he's a water ninja, but he doesn't really synergize in any way unless you're going with Darui or Mei for the barrier, and then he gets the addition of the barrier. But excuse me, you're definitely going to want to use Chojuro if you have Tobirama. So if you have like Mei or Darui and then Tobirama and Chojuro, because Tobirama increases your team's taijutsu. I'm like just jumping around up here. Tobirama increases your team's taijutsu, which is going to make Chojuro hit even harder. Like Chojuro will one-shot somebody in the first round if you just buff the shit out of him with these characters. Hiruzen, no, unless you're going to go with some sort of weird resurrection team. Fifth Hokage Tsunade, absolutely. She's an amazing healer. If you use her and the water main, it's pretty much going to be all the healing you're ever going to need. Snake Cloak Kabuto, no. Ito Haku, yes. Her barrier, his barrier. I always say her. I know you guys get upset with me. But it is what it is, okay? He looks like a girl. His barrier is very strong. Not as good as Mei. Mei is going to be a better option, but Ito Haku, always for sure a good option. Especially if you use Naruto. If you use Ito Naruto and Ito Haku, you're going to be fucking some people up. Seven Miss Swordsman, Zabuza, you got better damage options. Great Ninja War Choji, you got better options. Swimsuit Ino, no. Tenten Chikamatsu, or Chung-Sum, whatever. But Great Ninja War is better. Sailor Sakura, like I said, absolutely. Susanoo Sasuke does a lot of damage, sure. Sage Naruto, never a bad option. No. Conan only if you're going to be running an Akatsuki team for some reason. Like Conan with Cursed Hidan's a really good option. Not so much for the water main though. They synergize really well, so you can do some things with them. Fu, like I said, very situational. Utakata definitely synergizes very well with the water main. Datara, no. Yukito, if you're going to be using a team with a bunch of debuffs, like you could use Utakata, Yukito, and Roshi, because a lot of debuffs, and you got some decent healing in that team. Samahata is a blitz character, so no. No. Great Ninja War 1010, absolutely. Like I said, she is part of like the best lineup you can possibly have as water main early on in the game. No. Only early for the healing. Suigetsu if you want like a knockoff Chojuro, but he just doesn't really do all that much damage. No. Tsunade's a decent healer, although she only really heals herself. Like, she heals one person, but... Oh, she heals two ninjas. Okay, she's a decent option. I wonder if that got buffed. I thought she only healed one person. Regardless. Zabuza, only if you want some weird blitzy team, but again, don't run blitz teams with the water main. No. Chojuro, very, very strong if you don't want to go with the Mabui Great Ninja War 1010 in May lineup. He hits super strong. Mabui is always great with water lineups because she shields and she generates a bunch of chakra, which is good for May, so they synergize super well. No. Early game, Hinata is a great tank, causes acupuncture. Yagura, like I said, very situational, but you can do some really fancy things with him against Jinchuriki lineups. Great Ninja War 1010, no. No. Darui as a knockoff replacement for May. No. Guy early on if you need some lifesteal and you're going to use like an attack kind of team. Sasuke early just for his chases and his ignition. But you're going to replace him quickly. Great Ninja War Sakura is a good healing replacement if you don't have Sailor Sakura, but Sailor Sakura is going to be better for the water main every single time. Mu, not so much. No. Sai, if you want to like spawn a bunch of clones and do weird shit, but it's not going to be in your best. That can be in your best interest. No to Danzo, no to Tarune, whoever. Ao, like I said, he's definitely very helpful with the shielding. If you want to go for like an attack style with Chojuro. No. Kabuto is an amazing healer. Use him in replace of like Sailor Sakura and Great Ninja War Sakura. If you don't have either of them, you don't have Hokage Tsunade. Like, great healer, absolutely great healer. Gakido and Ningendo are both good, only up until about level 70 though. Great Ninja War Tamari, not so much. Cursed Hidan is a really strong ninja by himself. Doesn't necessarily synergize the best with the water main because you're not generally going to be running a team that buffs him in any way. But if you have him and you want to use him, like you can throw him in there, right? He comes back to life, Kisame is a really good damage option early in the game for the water main. Kimimaru was always a very, very strong tank. Han, like I said, unless you're running a full debuff team behind him and you just need to get rid of immunity, Han, not so much with the water main. Hanzo is always a good option if you want to run the debuff team because he causes a bunch of poisoning and ignition as well. So you got a bunch of poisoning from her, a bunch of poisoning from him. If you had Sailor Sakura on top of that, and then maybe one other person to cause AoE damage, or just a tank, you could probably just put any kind of tank. Actually, Kimimaru, because then his mystery would stack poison. You get poison, tons of poison. It's really annoying, but hey, you do what you gotta do. Roshi, like I said, pretty much S tier. if you put the right team behind him, you can do a lot of damage. He causes a bunch of ignition, and he's a ticking time bomb as far as scaling goes, so you just got to keep him alive. Hoshi Rama is always good. Normal Hoshi Rama kind of struggles to find a place in PvP lineups unless you skill break him and get to the point where his standard attack is causing immobile like every single turn. That's obviously really good. You can never go wrong with that. Osmo Windblade's really only for blitz teams. No. And then Aruka is really good early, but that's about it. Alright, so that's like every ninja in the game. Cool. I think we have gone over everything. I guess one last thing we can look at. So the water main is primarily ninjutsu because of her, like everything of her, yeah, all of her healing is ninjutsu based. And then her life is actually a really high growth, but you don't want to use her as a tank. So for her mood, you're going to want to go with plus ninjutsu and minus attack. That's going to be like her best mood. Higher healing, always a good thing. Plus with higher ninjutsu, her poison is going to tick harder. So yeah. Okay, that's it. Pretty sure I covered everything. We got early game, pay to win, free to play, all the way up to the Jinchuriki stuff. You know, the game's going to change in the future. I can't prepare you for that until it happens and I see what the new ninja are going to do, what they add to the game. But like I said, right now, the Earth Main and the Water Main are pretty much like top tier of the mains because of their ability to keep super strong ninja alive through either supporting them with shields or with constantly healing them. So, yeah, that's going to be it for the Water Main. We are done with the 4th out of our 5 mains. Next up is going to be the Wind Main. If you enjoyed this, make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss the Wind Main guy when it comes out. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for the other mains so you can check that out as well. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. These are super long because I try and make them as comprehensive as possible and to cover every single aspect of these main characters. As you can tell, my voice started to struggle a little bit because I've been talking for so long with these videos. But a lot of people seem to really enjoy them, and people tell me that it helps them out a lot. So they want me to keep making them, and I'll keep making them for you guys. Thank you to everybody who watched the entire way through the video, this long-ass video. It really helps me with YouTube and the whole algorithm thing when people watch the whole way through the video. So I cannot thank you enough for helping me out and watching the whole way through the video. If you have any more questions that I somehow did not answer, you can ask me down below. I try and get to all of the comments on my videos. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys all have a great day. See you in the next video, and peace.